Thank you. Do we have somebody who'd like to lead us in the pledge?
Legacy, and Zoe, would you like to do that for us?
Please? Oh, thank you.
Have them come up?
So,
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
They're not shy, I promise you that.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Moore, that was the best, they're the best pledge leaders I think we've had in the last 5 years.
That was the quickest, man, that sounds good. Thank you.
Good evening again, everyone. We'll call roll. Dr. O'Neill?
Present.
Mr. Heater?
Present.
Mrs. Barnes Griffin?
Present.
Mr. Irvin?
Present.
Mr. Lowe? Mr. Lowe is, I'm sorry, I was waiting for him to answer and he's not here. So we will proceed at this time to, do we have our choir? Okay, let's bring our choir up.
We are here and we're going to perform the Black National Anthem, and it's entitled Lift Every Voice and Sing. Can everyone please stand?
Who are you?
Black National Anthem. We are the Minority Educators Council of Muncie Community Schools. Thank you for having us tonight.
Who is everybody?
Who
are you?
Yeah. Who is everybody?
We are
Could you-
various educators within Muncie Community Schools, and I will let each one introduce themselves. I am Rhonda Ward. I serve as the Assistant Director of the Muncie Area Career Center and the Director of Diversity for Muncie Community Schools.
Thank you.
I'm Isaac Dinston, I'm choir director at Northside Middle School.
I'm Jayla Henson, the choir director at Southside Middle School.
And I'm Leah Britton, the master teacher at Northview Elementary School.
Well, thank you all so very much. Rhonda, could you give us an update on everything that's going on this month in the community and the schools? I mean, you can, I'll leave it to your discretion.
Okay, well, I'll share a couple of things. We have, Grissom Elementary School is hosting a American Black History program, which I think is wonderful because as we all know, Black history is a part of American history. So I love the fact that she put in the title American Black History Program. That's going to be on this Friday, February 16th at 9 a.m. at Grissom. And then Longfellow Elementary School is hosting their own Black History program on February 29th. And we also have, as far as the district is concerned, our annual Black History Month decorating contest. So I know we have lots of teachers and students who are really excited getting their displays together, and they're always so creative and innovative and just really are into it. The teachers and the students really get a kick out of it. They get very, very competitive too, I might add. And so they are wrapping up their displays this Friday, and then we will be judging them on next week.
And then would you mind having the winners come by for a board meeting and share their work? And thank you so much for blessing us with your musical gifts tonight. It was really made my evening. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Latasha, did you arrange this?
I did.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Longfellow.
All right, well, good evening, board members. Good evening to all those who've attended here tonight. We're so excited to showcase some of the things that we are doing at Longfellow. I brought two special guests with us today, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Your name and your grade.
My name is Legacy LaFleur, and I am in 5th grade.
My name is Lily Hobson, and I'm in 4th grade.
Thank you. And they will be presenting and sharing some things that they're doing at school as we go on with the presentation. So, little thing is, you guys know, I get excited. I can't help it. I'm always excited about what our kids are doing and growth that is happening at Longfellow. And so this year's theme, we always have one, is every little step. So it means everything we're doing, we're walking together with our students, with our community, with everyone involved who takes those steps. So this year's theme, again, is every little step, as you see. I always start with this. This is what we're grounded in terms of our school, understanding what we're about, what our vision is. Our kids know it. We talk about it. We affirm it through everyday talk. They get on their announcements and say 3 things, and I'll ask them. They don't even know how to do this. I'll tell you that at the end about our affirmations that we do every morning. But I'll read this, and I've done this every year, but again, it keeps us understanding to our focus here at Longfellow. In their pursuit of wisdom, students of Longfellow Elementary School will discover something of value in themselves and return to society. Our school will provide a safe, aesthetically pleasing, functional environment conducive to learning and development of self-esteem. So that's done daily. And can I work with you? You remember our affirmations? What do we say every morning?
Smart, I'm excellent, I can do anything.
Yes, you can. So they say that every student says that from kindergarten to grade 5. Right now, we start with grade 5 and work our way down to kindergarten, and that's where we are right now. So the kindergarten students know it. I'll ask them, what's your affirmation? And they'll say just that. So again, that's rooted in our vision that really is in concert with Mussey's mission. So again, we start out with that. The students understand that, the teachers understand that, and more importantly, our community understands that, and they're part of that. All right, so we have something interesting that's happened this year. We're very grateful for the district for helping us implement and get a new curriculum. I go around daily to classrooms. I have an opportunity to kind of see what's going on. And I will say this, out of all the years I've been here, probably CKLA has been the most enriching in terms of engaging. We'll continue to see as it supports our students, but they are just ecstatic and excited about this new curriculum. I'll let Legacy talk about that here in a second. And the other thing that's a little different that we're doing this year are called learning walks. I'll talk a little bit about that our master teacher does throughout the year, and I'll go in a little bit more detail when we get there. We are data-driven, again, stepping in the right direction daily. As you guys know, we are doing things that are going to help us grow. So we have to pay attention to our data. We have meetings weekly, myself and our master teacher, along with our ILT team. And we look at the data that we collect through various ways, of course, our benchmarks, to make sure that we are doing and creating opportunities for our kids to grow. So we pay attention to each student, each learning environment, ensuring that students are learning and that they're understanding what they're learning. So we are data driven. I'll get to that here in a second. Now, many of you probably know school board, and again, I presented this a little earlier when you came to the building, but CKLA, core knowledge, language arts, and there's two components to that, the knowledge piece and the skills piece. But we're going to see how it's impacting student achievement. And I'm sure other elementary principals will probably brag too, but I'm not short of bragging about good things happening. So we have seen substantial growth. We look forward to more growth. And I'll tell you guys this, I'll never be satisfied until we reach 100%. And even if we reach 100%, I still may not be satisfied until we get to 120%, if that's possible. But our kids are working hard and our teachers are working hard as well, utilizing CKLA. So if you guys can stay here for a second. I don't know if you can see this, but so we take, as you guys know, there's 3 benchmark tests that are given 3 times throughout the year. So we have a early, what we call a beginning of the year benchmark, and then there's a middle of the year benchmark. I don't know if you can see this, but and I always look at growth. Sometimes, you know, we measure things by our learning. We should. That's a standard that we have to look at, but I'm making sure that our kids are growing. And we can see that we started the year with kids above grade level at 4%. And then the other part is they're on grade level and then they're mid or above grade level here. So if you combine these right here, we were at the beginning of the year, like I said, we had 3 benchmarks begin in August. We were at 15%. That was our building. 15% of our building was proficient, is what they call it. Middle of the year, we're at 33%. So we went from 15 to 33%, and that was just a little bit of just CKLA. So I'm like, I can't wait to see what our scores look like at the end, because the kids are growing, and I know that. I'm in the classrooms, and they'll speak to that because they enjoy this curriculum. So again, we can see that, we can track that, and we do. We have, looking at our students who are in the red, they went from 15% and 7% to moving from 9% to 19%, from 19% to 15%, and then from 9% to 7%. So again, there's a decrease there, and I'll attribute that again to CKLA.
So let me have you go through that one more time on the, and that's on, in the red is not proficient?
Not proficient, kids who are grade level. So the way this chart is, and I use different charts, but this one breaks it down a little further. So this part in this red without the lines, that's considered 2 grade levels or more, 2 grade levels behind. The one with the stripe, the red area, that's 3 grade levels behind.
So the dark red is 3 grade levels. Right. The lighter red is 2 grade levels.
2 grade levels. And then, of course, in the middle, this kind of, you can look at it like a traffic light. Green, you're good to go. Yellow, caution. Red, oh, we got to stop and think about what's going on.
So is yellow 1 grade level or on grade level?
1 grade level behind. And that's where we look at that, and we are really positive that we're mindful and thinking we can move those kids over. So we're very intentional about looking at all these kids. Again, the goal is to get all these kids here, but we're just proud of the fact of students who are so far behind for many reasons. As you guys know, COVID has really impacted the way our kids are learning and how they learn. And so we have a lot of work to do, and the staff knows that, and we share all this information with them. But again, they're working very hard to ensure we're moving from here to here, and eventually we would love to be, all of this be filled with green. That's the goal and desire.
System's going to shut down here.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Just hit cancel.
Cancel. Don't shut me down.
So
Your time's up, Gary.
on
I didn't finish.
when you started the year, what percentage of your building was 3 grade levels behind?
Okay, when we started, we were looks like 28%. were, oh, 3 grade level, I'm sorry, 9%. We were 9%.
And how many are now 3 grade levels behind?
7%. So not a huge grain, but we're tracking that.
How many were 2 grade levels behind
19%.
at the start?
At the start of the year, we're now 15%.
So, and then at the beginning of the year in the yellow,
Yellow at the beginning of the year was 56%, and then we moved that to 45%. But many of those kids have moved over to the green.
okay. So you're picking up, you're moving, the trajectory is moving to the green.
Yes, and that's why we're really positive and we're excited about it, because we're seeing that it is trending in the right direction. Again, we're not where we want to be, but what we do see is it's not going backwards. Many of our kids are suggesting to us, we are learning some things. Like I said, we have other work to do with these particular kids, but we know capturing these kids, we can move these kids along. And I'll talk a little bit about typical and stretch growth. So right here is a bar that dictates growth. Now, if you look at it like 100%, at the end of the year, you would like for every kid to be at 100%. That means they've grown a whole school year. So with this, we're at 57%. Right on, matter of fact, we're just a little bit over target line, because initially we're supposed to be at 50%. We're a little bit over at 57. At the end of the year, the whole building should be at 100%. That means the whole building has grown 1 grade level. Stretch growth, which is what we're really going at, that's a 1.5 year growth. And that means these kids have really worked hard. We have set those goals for all kids. They know both their typical growth, every student knows that, as well as their stretch growth. So they go in there knowing, okay, this is where I was to begin with. If I work a little harder, I can meet my typical growth, but if I work just a little bit harder, I can get my stretch growth. And that's where we really want to capture these kids. If we get stretch growth right here, we can really move those students over. So that's the idea, but looking at this is telling us we are in the right direction. I feel good about that.
How does your growth this year compare to last year?
We're about, like last year, I think we were at 48% at this time. I don't have that right in front of me, but we were not 57%. So again, I'm looking forward to, and I can give you that information a little later on, but I know we're ahead of where we were last year. And this is, like I said, I am truly excited about it, because with this, our new staff, our staff learning the new curriculum, once we really get a hold and a handle and understand that, oh my goodness, where we're going to be then. So this is positive, this is encouraging. Again, I'll let our students talk about CKLA here in a second. Any other questions on growth?
Anybody?
And for the first year, I'm sure Ms. White may have given you information about that. We are now in the high growth area. We've not been there before, so again, we celebrate that. Matter of fact, we have a celebration party coming up in a couple of weeks. No, this Friday. What's happening? To let the kids know, we appreciate the effort. We're not done yet, but everybody is growing, so we feel good. Anybody else?
What time's your high growth party Friday?
It's in the afternoon. Oh, you put me on. In the afternoon, and I've told about from 1 to 2. That lasts at 1 o'clock. The lunch is over with, and then they'll go into. They have what we call minutes win games, and they'll do certain things throughout. Just having fun. Just saying, hey, you guys worked hard, we're going to celebrate you. And we'll do it again at the end of the year once we take our interview test. Okay, there he is, the man and the young man ready to talk about his story. So one of the things, Legacy is one of our 5th graders. He's an outstanding young man. One day to be president of the United States. That's what we look at him. He is an incredible young mind. And he is also, as one of our campaign ambassadors for our READ campaign, we selected Legacy, and he did a great job. Looks real handsome here, but I'm going to let him talk a little bit about how CKLA has impacted student engagement. Because I thought not Mr. Moore needs to talk about, but our students need to talk about some student engagement. And they did something, I think, when you guys came to the school. I've never seen this. And I'll let you talk about Don Quixote and what that meant in terms of them learning about Don Quixote. Because I remember learning about Don Quixote, and I said, man, I don't know if I really like this. I'm kind of bored about it. But they brought it to life, and I'll let him explain what happened with Don Quixote. What did you guys do?
So, how we did it was we switched around the desk in the room, and we turned a fictional book from boring to fun, and we made it a whole court case of the crimes, or so-called crimes, he committed in the book.
Don Quixote?
They put him on trial. I mean, the whole thing. Had a whole case. I went in there, wasn't ready for it. They had their notes. Who was you, Legacy? Your role was what?
I was the defendant for Don Quixote.
You was wasn't you a lawyer?
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yes. And so he did a great job, but they did a wonderful job of just bringing to life Don Quixote, utilizing. They had to take notes. They had to go in and do the research. Watch this. Mr. Williams is a true, real lawyer judge. So he can understand, but they did their homework, Mr. Williams. And I went in there, and myself and Ms. Sir, we were the jurors. And they had to convince us. We deliberated, and again, did you guys win? Yes. Oh, no, yes. They proved their case beyond a shadow of a doubt. But we were just so excited. All the kids loved it. But they all had a role in it, and they worked so hard. And was that lesson fun? Was it fun, Legacy? Sure. And anything else in CKLA you want to talk to our board about that you enjoyed?
our last unit, we learned about the Renaissance, and later we're going to be doing a wax museum for each Renaissance, and I have Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
Nice. Oh, man, I can't wait to see that. So again, Legacy again is a prime example of students really learning and the engagement that's happening. I couldn't remember that all the years I was there. I mean, all our kids are just, Mr. Moore, did you know about this and dinosaurs? And I'm like, you're 8. How do you know about these things? So it is an enriching curriculum, and we're so glad and proud of him, his learning. But I wanted him just to share a little bit. Do you have any questions for Legacy? Anyone?
Any questions for Legacy? So Legacy, you were the defense lawyer, and you managed to get Don Quixote found not guilty? Well, congratulations. That's hard to do.
Judges.
He did a good job.
And what did Don Quixote tilt at?
What do you mean by that?
Did you, in the book, wait, Don Quixote tilts at windmills?
Yeah, he had broke windmills, and so they claimed he had broke windmills. And they claimed that he had break-in floss, being a police officer,
First and two, so-
or first aid a police officer or authority, and I think that's it.
Well, I really appreciate how, when you described it, you said they claimed. That tells me you're doing your job. So, is there anything you would like to see in your reading that's not there?
No, not really.
Okay. And you're enjoying it? Do your classmates enjoy it?
It depends of what classmates it is.
Nah, it's always been the story, hasn't it?
It's like, don't listen, don't really like them too much because they're not listening of what's going on.
Well, we're very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Here we go. We'll be meeting at the second break on that. All right. So, in this, and I'm going to go back to learning walks. Many of you have heard and know of Faith Serve. She's our master teacher. She does an incredible job, works very hard to ensure that our teachers are getting professional development weekly. And so what is different with this learning walk is we're walking together and learning together as we go into classrooms. The old model was she would go in or I go in, I'll do some note taking, look at some things, then I go back to the teacher. Maybe we can learn this. How is this better? We'll give them feedback. And sometimes that happens, but with the learning walk, it's a little different in terms of what we do. So what a learning walk is, we utilize our mentor teacher, both mentor teachers. One is a second grade teacher, one is a fourth grade teacher. Mrs. Surf teaches them and goes over certain initiatives, pilots certain things, and then we bring in all of our teachers to look at the expert teachers. So they're not only getting an opportunity to learn with each other, but they're learning how to, and they can question. We'll come back after the learning walk and have conversation about what we just saw. what we witnessed, what went well, what didn't go so well, and how we're gonna implement it throughout the school. So these happen 4 times throughout the year. And again, she does a great job of ensuring that everybody understands, hey, if you don't understand how to do this, I'm gonna support you here. But we're looking at best practices, things that we know work with students, things that we need to, with even our younger teachers, this is what they need. So they're able to actually witness as opposed to me just saying, hey, you could do a better job here, or you did that. No, you actually can see it as it happens. So we're very grateful, and these are some of our 2nd and 3rd grade, our primary teachers who are listening to Faith doing this learning walk. Again, I'm involved with that. I truly enjoy it. I just think it's something that for me too, I have input and I'm learning as well. And so again, this is 4 times a year that we do a learning walk. And our teachers love it. They always tell me, Mr. Moore, we're learning so much. And again, I'm looking at doing some other things with it, but right now, this is an opportunity for them to have true dialogue and conversation about what we just saw in the lesson. Any questions about learning walks? All right, we're going to have Zoe talk a little bit in a minute, but we have done some things, and with COVID, as you guys know, school was shut down, and so one of the unique things about Longfellow is we have a lot of community support. We just had in the last part of January, donuts with grown-ups. We used to do donuts for dads, but we said, you know what, we have a lot of our family members supporting our kiddos. It could be a grandmother, it could be an auntie, it could be an uncle, it could be a family friend. We wanted to celebrate with the grown-ups. So we had, oh my goodness, an incredible amount of people. We had a lot of people come, but here was the unique thing about this. Mr. Pastor Frank Scott, who is part of the Whitewood Community Council who supports our school, came in and read, I am every good thing. I wish I could have shown it tonight, but it takes a little bit too much time. But he read this book, and it's on YouTube. But we showed it, and I tell you what, Mr. Williams, everyone in it, we probably had 300 people in the gym. They all were listening to him. He has an incredible voice, but he read this story, and out of this story really came from the CKLA curriculum. And what he did was read the story, and again, all these good people here with families heard the story, but from that story came our poetry cafe. And this is our 4th grade class, and this is where Zoe is in Ms. Brimberry's class. And they said, Mr. Moore, we want to do something different. Again, with the curriculum. I said, what do you want to do? I'm always open. And they said, well, we want to have a cafe. I said, we need a cafe. I want to have a poetry cafe. I said, oh, really? You going to rap? They're like, no, we got something else. So she showed me the book that they were studying, and I will turn it out over to Zoe Hobson, who wrote an I am poem from I Am Every Good Thing. So if we could turn our attention to Zoe, and they did their own illustration, came up with their own thoughts. And you guys know I get emotional when kids do things. And so I was in there and I said, oh my goodness, our wonderful children are just saying who they are. Going back to our mission of value yourself. So Zoe Hobson, please, if you don't mind share your poem.
I made this picture myself. It was really good. I know it's good. I'll start reading now. I'm the next Whitney Houston.
Won't you speak up a little louder?
And do you want to put the microphone down a
Yes.
little bit so everyone can, oh, that doesn't matter?
Wonderful.
Okay.
She sings too. She does a lot of great things. Go ahead.
I'm the next Whitney Houston. I'm the loud smack when you hit the volleyball. I'm an acrobat on one wheel unicycle. I'm a little Einstein. I'm a beautiful butterfly coming out of its Christmas. I am all the colors of the rainbow. And lastly, without a shadow of doubt, I am worthy to be loved.
Very good. Thank you so much, Zoe.
Miss-
And again, CPLA, I don't know another curriculum that would have spawned that to that level, where every one of our children you see here wrote an I am poem, and they all created a book, and I keep this, even on my hard days, and I'm struggling a little bit. And I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'll open this book up and read just one. And they do, and it does wonders for me. So thank you so much, Zoe.
Well, and
for
Mr.
sharing.
Moore,
Yes.
isn't she a good singer? Doesn't she like to sing?
She is, she's an incredible singer.
I bet, could she do do you have a favorite song that's not very long that you'd want to share your voice with us?
Sure. I've been into Mara Wells for lately time, so
Who is it, who you into?
Mara Wells.
Okay, very good.
Nothing you can say could tear me away from my guy, my guy. Nothing you can 'cause I'm stuck like glue to my guy, my guy.
I can't ask you to do that. They clear the room out. I'm not a singer. But thank you so much. Like I said, so much talent lies in Longfellow. We will be having a variety show in the spring, so we will invite you to that, where Zoe probably will perform. And Legacy can sing as well.
Oh,
Both of them are singers. I'm not gonna have them put on the spot like that, but both of them are talented young people that I am privileged to be with every day. So again, thank you so much, Zoe.
So,
All
Zoe
right.
and Legacy, thank you for coming and sharing tonight. Do you have more for them to share, or we?
No, that was it. That was, oh yes, there we go. We are growing and sprouting. There's a blossom. Hey, there we go. I was waiting for it, took a little second. But again, we thank you. I am honored and privileged every day to walk in that building and see our kids growing. It is amazing, I tell you, and this is true. I do read that, and I just tell myself every day how lucky I am to be with students like Zoe in Legacy. So again, thank you, young people. And she one day, who knows, she may be on American Idol or selling, maybe buying her records one day. So again, we look forward to seeing how they will develop. Thank you again so much for your time. And maybe, like I said, you guys are invited. We have a Black History program come up on the 20th.
Anybody have any questions for Mr.
Any
Warren?
questions for anybody, myself or students?
Legacy, you're in 5th grade,
Yes, sir.
and what's your favorite subject?
I would say my favorite subject is reading.
Reading. And what, you'll go to middle school next year? Are you studying hard?
Yes, I am.
Good, good. Is there anything you need at your school that you're not getting?
I don't know.
Sure.
Get everything.
Zoe, you're in 4th grade, right?
Yes.
What's your favorite subject?
I would say it's reading and math, but I'm kind of leaning towards math, but I'm kind of struggling math. But I keep knowing and I keep knowing, but I kind of keep getting mixed up with like numbers. So I'm working on that and studying the process.
Is there anything you need at school?
No, not really. I'm getting all that attention.
Okay.
That's good attention, not bad.
Well, we really want to thank you both for coming and sharing with us this evening and sharing your gifts with us. And to hear it and use your, like you say every day, you're smart, you're excellent, and you can do anything. You really can. So we are on to literacy, RBE.
Real Black Excellence.
Very well done. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Stephen Hargrave. I am the founder of Real Black Excellence. And I thank you for the time that you've given us. I'd like just briefly, those that are with me from the organization to stand, they're all in the back there. This is a small representation of Real Black Excellence, and I just wanted to recognize them before we proceed, so thank you so much. They're wonderful, and I wanted to have the opportunity here to even tell you who we are. We're in your community, we're actually in your schools, thanks to you, so something's come across your desk that you have approved through RBE, so I wanted to at least tell you a little bit about what we are, who we are, and what we're doing. Real Black Excellence is just that. There's a reason why we're not just called Black Excellence, and we are unapologetically proud to be Black. I say everyone in the organization is obviously not Black, but I say this often and I'll say it more and more. If we told you how proud we were to be Black, then you would become proud. And so we're so proud of that. We focus on the African American community, but the reason why we put Real Black Excellence there is because we recognize that there is no such thing as just an isolated, segregated excellence that does not filter out throughout the whole community. And so even in the celebration of Black History Month, which we're doing now, and I think it's wonderful, I appreciate the Black National Anthem, it's all wonderful, but even in the celebration of that, oftentimes it's neglected that there are people, and there's a whole underground network of people that were not African American, that actually supported people like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman and they actually made the way for these wonderful Americans like them to do what they did. So it's a celebration. It's a total understanding of everything in the organization. We exist to assist communities, part of this community. We assist families, organizations, businesses, and individuals on how to function as a community. There are so many various programs, all of them sincere, all of them working well, but very few know exactly how to work together one with another. And sometimes they end up actually, unfortunately, in competition with one another and jealousy and all kinds of things. And so we exist just to help people to know, look, this is how we're supposed to function together. We'll help anybody, we'll do anything at any time. And there's an aspect about what we do that I want to bring to your attention before we continue. I want to thank you all, everyone here, and I want to especially thank Dr. K, because it's easy to get criticized, and I'm sure, well, maybe none of you have been criticized very much, but it's easy, it's actually easy to get criticized for what you're trying to do with sincere efforts. And very rarely does anyone, actually most of the time the people that are criticizing they're criticizing from a place where they can't even possibly understand what you are even involved with. Very often that's the case. But very rarely someone just comes and says, hey, thank you. You know, by the way, thank you. Thank you for caring for the students. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being on the board. You don't have to be on the board. So thank you for that. And I want to especially thank Dr. King for her enduring us, specifically me, enduring me and meeting with us, and her dedication to the Muncie community and the Muncie Community Schools. Also, we are at Southview. These are engagement activists. And some of these wonderful young people are college students now. They're studying to be educators. And so we're engagement activists in the school every day. And without going through charts, we're not going to go through the charts and everything that Dr. K has already shared with you. You're well aware of those things. We feel like our organization fills a gap that, quite frankly, you can't fill. The educators can't fill. Not because the educators are incapable, but simply because it's not their job to do that. The educators are supposed to be there in school and do what needs to happen with the students. But that's difficult to do oftentimes if the students are not in a position where they can receive the education and the expertise that the educators have. So, for example, if I come to school hungry, it's difficult for the educator to educate me. If I don't know how to sit down, or if I have some other intricate problems going on at home, it's difficult for me to actually get my grades up. So we fill the gap that we think is equally a part of education, and I want to tell you briefly about some of those, if I may. Y'all look so interested, I'm just going to keep going.
Sure.
All right. So we do some things that we think are also part of education. We have, again, the in-school engagement activists. We have weekly parent-teacher conferences. But what we do after school, we feel like, is the piece that the educators not only can't do, but really they're not supposed to do that. There's an aspect of community where the community is supposed to reach out and meet with the educators, and then we fulfill our obligation to increase test scores and all those things that everybody's concerned about. So we have after-school childcare available. We personally, all these are free. We have also adult classes that are available. From the standpoint of history, we teach history classes, Black history, of course, and Black history, of course, is American history. We actually offer house cleaning, which we think is equally a part of education. It's important to have a clean home and understanding that. We offer cooked meals. We offer cooking classes. We have a certified cook that is just outstanding. If she cooked you something, you would know all about it and appreciate it. We also offer fashion design, which is sewing, and those types of things for the students that may be interested in that. And of course, I am a barber. I own Brothers Barbershop. And so I have a full curriculum that I've been attempting to push through. The mayor's going to help us, and hopefully you'll help us. I've been attempting to push through with the state of Indiana called the Master Barbering class, Master Barbering Apprenticeship class. And so we have all of these things available that will help assist in the education of the students, and not just coming to school and wanting to do something or wanting to do well. But I said this to political officials too. If I was the mayor, and I'm not, I'm not very political. I'd be kind of the worst politician ever that anyone saw. But if I was the mayor, I would look out. If I was you, I would look out and I would say, okay, is there someone in the community that can reach back and help? Are there any men out there? Are there any organizations that actually won't just criticize, but that they have a meaningful program available to help with the education? That's what I would do, and I would put it back on the community. We, as Real Black Excellence, feel like that is our obligation. And so we thank you once again for allowing us to be a part of working with the students, working in the schools. We have a reading program. I'll mention this quickly and then we'll move to our last point. Our reading program includes that the students will read a minimum of 10 books on their own. One thing about reading, of course, reading and history is part of education fully. One thing about reading is the students need to read in order to know how to read. And oftentimes educators, not y'all, but oftentimes educators are satisfied with students calling letters. And calling letters and reading are two different things. And so what we would like to do is more beyond just calling letters, but actually reading, because that goes into other areas of their life that really are kind of not taught. When you walk into a room, you have to be able to read the room. You have to understand yourself. You have to be able to read circumstances. So it's not just a matter of opening a book and being able to sound out a word, which is, phonics is of course important. But there's a depth to our education that our community, which is broken, specifically the African American community, which is broken, is not getting. We feel like that's not a blame game. We feel like the people in the community need to step up and be involved and be willing and do it as we have many times free of charge. And thanks to you, that's no longer the case. And we hope to work with you for many, many more years to come, as long as you'll have us. And I hope that this presentation has not diminished any of that. So we want to work with you as long as possible. The last thing I want to say is I want to mention something to you. We're having a jazz concert. Okay? Yeah. I love jazz. I think you have to have jazz is my favorite genre. Now, me personally, I think you have to have a certain level of intelligence to even appreciate jazz. But that is because I'm biased. Okay, I think you have to have a certain level of intelligence to even like that. And if somebody doesn't like it, I think they would like it if they had an opportunity to come. And so we were able to contact the Grammy Award-winning artist, Kirk Whalum. The reason why Kirk Whalum, he brought me through many trials and tests myself. So Kirk Whalum is a big deal. That's at Cornerstone Center for the Arts. That is on Friday, the 16th, this Friday, and it's at 7 p.m. And we have the mayor sponsored some students. So there are 100 students that are sponsored from Muncie Community Schools that their tickets are paid. We're ready, and hopefully the process is rolling where we can get them in there. You all are absolutely invited. If you don't want to pay, we'll give you free tickets for you and your spouse. It doesn't even matter. We have.
I'd rather have bought mine.
Can I get a rebate? But you know, Brother O'Neill, you got so much money that I'm not comfortable giving you a rebate. I was going to ask you for some money.
Notice everybody's laughing.
I'm sorry. But yes, and my point is, of course, if you feel like that you need a refund, that's not even the point. The point is, no, I'm being serious. The point is, let's come together. Let's black and white people come together. Let's enjoy an evening. Let's not be reactive. Let's be proactive before something happens crazy. Let's come together and be what we should be as a community. Enjoy a good evening together. And just because the name says Real Black Excellence, we don't have to look at each other sideways. We can just know, oh yeah, I know them. They've talked to us and everything's okay. And they're the ones with the jazz concert. They're the ones that care about the community. So I wanted to take time to thank you. Thank you for bearing with this presentation. If I have gone off on a way that the board doesn't normally go, then I just went my own way. And this is the only way that I know how to do it. But we love the students. We love Black people. We love the Black community. We will give our lives to actually do everything that we can. We won't just talk about it. We'll give our lives to do everything we can to upbuild the education, and we will not try to get in your way. We hope to be a resource for you. We would hope that the educators would say, hey, there's some people over there that can work with us and not really get in our way, but they're gonna work with us and they're gonna help us to achieve our goal in Muncie. We're dedicated to Muncie, we're dedicated to Muncie Community Schools, and we thank you so much for your opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
So you have Friday evening, 7 o'clock concert at Cornerstone.
Yes, sir.
Where would we get tickets?
You get tickets at rbe.community. That's our website, rbe.
So rbe.community.
Yes, sir. And then
And-
you'll see, when you punch that in, of course.
Is it going to be in the auditorium there?
Yes, sir, in the auditorium. So it seats really 11.
And Rhonda is the one who is helping us get the tickets distributed to students.
Okay.
Very good.
And so
Great.
she is on top of that, working with the high school, and so we're on top of that. And if I might have a moment, I really want to recognize the educators in the back row. I watch you in classrooms, I watch you with students, and you are patient, you're encouraging, you're kind, and you just do marvelous work. And so we are just so grateful that you come in every single day. Believe me, we don't have any attendance problems at all, but you're there all the time, working very hard to make sure our students are learning and doing the very best they can. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Very good for that. I was at Southview on Friday and I watched you all in action, and I feel the same way that Dr. Cave. I was really impressed, and so I made a comment to Dr. Casey and Sean Davis about what I saw as well. So thank you.
So the 10 books, is that for all grade levels at Southview? Or students who are participating with you reading 10?
I'm so sorry, I'm not sure that I understand the question.
You had said your goal for the students that you're working with was reading 10 books this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the goal that's just our personal goal that was written in our contract. We feel like with reading less than 10 books is not really good for the school year. So a minimum of 10 books for all the students that go through the engagement activists, that is our minimum standard of what would be success in terms of reading.
And my question would be, are you needing books for your library for these students? Where are you getting your books? Do you need more?
Yes, sir. Very good question. Where we're getting our books is I have an extensive library. So a lot of it's history books about Dr. King, etc. Do we need more books? Certainly, we always would. Absolutely. And
Okay.
please and thank you. Absolutely.
Okay. And what's the age of your students who are participating at Southview?
I could say something, but I want one of them to say it. So please, what are the ages?
Good evening.
Good evening. Very happy to be here with you all this evening. Want to acknowledge Brother Stephen Hargrave, our boss. We're so thankful for the privilege that he's given us to work here in the community. Want to also thank Dr. K for working with Brother Hargrave and just allowing us to have this privilege to be in Muncie Community Schools. We're very passionate about being in the community, so we're so glad for this opportunity. I'll just say really quick, a lot of people ask me if I'm 13. I'm not 13, I'm in college. I know I'm short. My students always say, why are you so short? Just didn't grow. But I'm in college, and there's a couple of us that are in college teaching, and we're very passionate about helping the students work in the community. We feel like there's no way for a teacher to teach alone. And by that, I mean without the support of so many different members of the community. We need the principal, obviously, we need the assistant principal, but then we need so many more. So not all of us girls are in college to be educators. Some of us girls that come in are there to wipe noses, to wipe tears, to feed the children, to braid hair, to decorate the classroom, because we feel like all those different giftings are so important to help the children, to put the children in a place where they can be educated. The grades that we are doing interventions with would be kindergarten through 5th grade. So all of elementary, different small groups come to us and we try to work with them to help them We've been working a lot with standards, trying to get them up to date with those. And we're very, very thankful for the privilege to do that.
Well, and we're thankful for you being willing to do it.
It's
So
our privilege.
this is precisely the kind of engagement that makes Muncie Community Schools a special place. And it's also the kind of engagement that is absolutely necessary for the ultimate hope and success of our students and their families. So thank you very much for bringing your gifts to Muncie Community Schools. If there's anything that you need at any point, let us know, please. And just thank you. Is there any other questions?
I'd also really want to give a shout out to the master teacher at Southview. Amy Heath works very closely with all the different interventionists that we have, helping prepare lessons and making sure that, you know, that students are progressing at a good pace. And so we appreciate all of her extra effort because she's working night and day, making sure that lessons are available.
Anything else? Any questions? Is there anything? I'm sorry.
So are we only at Southview now, or is this gonna be rolling out to other schools, or just there? Kind of curious.
We have community partners at other schools. Nothing quite like this, I don't think. We would welcome it.
Do you guys need any more help? Is there any information to get out for more volunteers within the school system?
Absolutely. This is a very good question. So help is always needed. Like there's no doubt about that. We just had to talk with the mayor, and the mayor wants to know, can we do something other than Southview? So on our website, rbe.community, there is a section, please get involved, and absolutely volunteers, absolutely. It's rbe.community. So we welcome that. We just welcome anything to help.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the question. And clearly, for those who are watching tonight and viewing this board meeting later, our community engagement is one of the pillars of our strategic plan. We've come a long way over the last 6 years, but there are infinite amounts of work and need to be met for our students and their families.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention, of course, again, Dr. Casey, just wonderful, Ms. Davis. We just want to thank all of them. They're doing a wonderful job, as you know.
Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us this evening. Okay. Dr. Quinn, I will not skip you this evening.
Okay, great. I was leaning over to kick you if that was the case.
Yeah,
so we'd
luckily
make
there's a
sure.
divider.
Yeah. A few things to announce. We have Scholastic school surveys. Principals have sent those out to our families. This is a great way for us to get feedback regarding our engagement with families in the community, and it will give us a good baseline for areas where we're doing well and areas where we can continue to grow. That is in partnership with the George and Francis Ball Foundation and the Family Engagement CAN. And so we'll be anxious to get results back. So we have a healthy competition among our schools. I think the goal is every school is supposed to be at 40% for family surveys. And so anyone watching, help your school and get on that link and take the survey. We'll also have our teachers are also going to be part of giving their feedback. Mark your calendars. May 8th, we are going to have a state of the schools at Southside Middle School. We'll have a reception prior beginning at 6, and then at 7 o'clock will be the presentation sharing about the partnership. So we'll have, certainly President Mearns will be in attendance. I'm sure all of you will be there, and so please mark your calendars. We also have heard that the way that we're engaging with our families through K-Swift, sharing information, isn't always the most friendly way of communicating and also may not give us it has some limitations. So Andy and Steve Spradlin, who's our IT director, they did some research and they've learned that Parent Square is a good communication platform that can be used by our families, by our teachers, by our school principals, by us as the district when we send out announcements such as weather delays. And so Andy is going to begin piloting it the rest of this year. And if all goes well, that will be something that next year we'll continue moving forward with. So what we really like about that is some of our teachers are hesitant to give cell phone numbers or use their cell phone to call families. This will give them access to be able to contact families, have conversations, and then it documents it for us. And so it's really a very nice tool that a lot of schools are using and have given us some good remarks about. We were at Longfellow this past week doing process checks, and so enjoyed spending the day with Gary and his team. Rhonda did a great job with announcing several of the events with Black History Month. I also want people to note that at Northside Middle School, we really have a great program. And so mark your calendar for this one. This Friday at 2 o'clock, Northside Middle School, there will be a presentation by Ben Williams and his band buddies. They actually go through the timeline and play songs based on history. And then we'll also have on February 29th at Muncie Central, there will be a special show for our 4th and 5th graders. And then we have a special event that evening at 7 o'clock at Muncie Central that will be open to the public. Our very own Dr. Reynolds will have his saxophone, and he is practicing with the band, so I know that they will be ready to go. But if any of you attended in the past, it's just really a very remarkable concert that will be one that you'll remember for quite some time.
And what time is that?
So it's 2 o'clock this Friday, and then 7 o'clock on the 29th. And then in the afternoon, the special show is at 1 o'clock.
On the 29th?
Yes.
And are all three shows the same?
The one for 4th and 5th will be abbreviated. It will be a little bit shorter.
Is that Friday?
Yes, for the 4th, not this Friday, the following Friday.
Not Friday, it's Thursday the 29th.
Yeah.
Thursday, okay.
And then this weekend, there's an NBA basketball all-star game in Indianapolis. And as for part of the festivals, they have some giant basketballs have been decorated to honor Indiana's rich history, basketball history. And one of those balls honors Muncie Central's boys state championship. And if you are downtown, you'll want to check it out. And if you don't get downtown, that's okay, because they are going to donate that basketball to us after this week. And so Brad will be working I joked with Brad, he was going to take his truck and go pick it up for us. But he said Paul will take the box truck and he'll bring it back. And we hope that the ball will fit inside the field house. If not, it may be outside the field house, but we will have that decorative ball. And Andy is connected with the artist, and he's going to, we're going to try to get him here for a little bit of a ceremony for that, as well as some of the people that are on that basketball. So that's nice too. I want to recognize two more things. The MAC graphic designers, we had a couple Muncie Area Center students, Emily Wilbur and Wesley Roberts, were both honored for their work in the IU East Graphic Design Contest, and so proud of them. And then both Grissom and EWA held student dances last weekend that were a big hit with our families. Each had a great turnout, and there was a lot of fun. And so I really appreciate the extra effort, because it takes a lot of time and planning that our schools did to welcome families and for everyone to really have a wonderful night. And so we were happy to see that.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. K? So, Mr. Jerome, is there truly any doubt that you'll be able to get the ball in the field house?
Well, the ball is 6 feet tall and it's on a base, so we'll see. The doors are about 6 feet 8 inches tall, so we got the bell inside there, if you remember. So
Right.
we're going to do our best to get it inside. Our hope was to put it inside the east lobby there. That's all been redecorated and redone. So we thought that'd be a good place for it. It's really a fantastic looking. I think it's fiberglass sitting on a base. It honors the championships won by Muncie Central over the years. It has many different scenes painted on the side of the ball. So anyway,
If you
it'll
need
be
to
an
take a door
interesting.
frame out,
Yeah.
feel free.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay.
That's how we had to get the bell in there. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll make it happen one way or the other.
Okay. I know, because I'm receiving some of these questions throughout the community and from a variety of sources that I perhaps didn't expect. So I guess we have an eclipse coming up, like in April sometime.
April 8th, 3
Yeah.
o'clock.
And so I'm not an eclipse person. I'm not that person that knew star formations or anything else, but apparently it's kind of a big deal to certain folks. I've been told that people lose their minds over this, that all our hotels are full, that people will stop on the interstates. And these are things that people have actually told me recently. They'll drive up in your yards to stop and watch the eclipse. So the question I have received is fear about an early dismissal that day and getting our buses snarled in eclipse roadblocks. So it is our hope. We've built some days in because of snow and doesn't look like, barring a storm here in the next couple weeks, that we'll have to use those. So there is some likelihood that we will be calling that day as an eclipse day, which is bizarre to me. But I don't want to thrust my views of solar issues onto the rest of the community. So just for the benefit of those watching, that is on our radar. We are aware of it. We are certainly sensitive to the safety of our families and our students as we look at whatever's going to occur on that day. You're a student of history. The Middle Ages, wasn't eclipse a sign of like the end of the world or something?
It depends on
Okay. Well, we also have like 4 billion cicadas headed this way. You guys all know in the back road, you guys know what cicadas are? They come like every 17 years or something. Okay, so between the eclipse and the influx of cicadas, I'm starting to get concerned.
Your email. Want to email tonight?
You gonna email me?
I'm not. Somebody will.
Yeah. So, in any event, we are aware and we are certainly sensitive to the issue. The concerts we have coming up, those will be wonderful, and please take advantage of those. I think that those are very special events. You announced it as Ben Williams and his band buddies. Is that the name of the group?
No. Chuck, you know some of their names, right?
A few of them. Casey Harshberger is a guitar player from the Indianapolis area and is outstanding. And really, aside from some of the hacks like myself and maybe Mr. Clark from the high school is going to be playing, they're all professional grade musicians, and
Okay.
it's a tremendous opportunity for our kids. I mean, if you can hold middle school kids' attention for 90 minutes, this concert, and they were up and enjoying it and engaged.
Okay.
It says a little something about
And
it.
as good as Chuck is, he said, boy, after practicing, I had to go home and practice
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
I was
We-
sweating it with
We
working
practiced
with-
about 3.5 hours last night, and I got a little more to do. Sir Duke is particularly challenging.
And Mr. Hargrave, I would agree with you about jazz. I think you do have to have a certain level of intelligence and appreciation to enjoy it. Who's your favorite jazz musician?
That's a good question. I'm going to say Kirk Whalum.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to say Kirk Whalum. I love Coltrane. Miles is pretty deep. I like Wayne Tisdale. I mean, not deep, but yes. I was.
Well, we had, in my childhood home growing up, we had one of those stereos that was about as wide as these two tables together. And I remember we had a John Coltrane album and Dave Brubeck. Those were the two jazz albums we had. So, okay, enough digression.
Any public comment?
Okay, no public comments, so I just ate some time up. We're on to our consent agenda. You have in your materials consent agenda. It is relatively uneventful this evening. Is there any questions regarding that? If not, would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Been moved and second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay, show that passing. Financial report, Mr. Jerome.
Thank you. Presented in your board packet is the January actual results of financial information. Obviously, that's just 1 month into the new calendar year. So when I put together my cash flow estimates, obviously 11 months of forecast, 1 month of actuals. We're always happy to report we received our state basic grant revenue in the month. We're expecting to receive a little under $47 million of state basic grant revenue, $46.8 million, still based on our enrollment that we had in October of 2023 of 4,951. So really, total cash balance at the end of January, $32.1 million. This particular calendar year, we're now paying the state $12 million loan back. Now that has ramped up to $150,000 a month. Later this year, it'll go to $180,000 a month, and that balance is down to $9.7 million. So we're continuing to pay that based on the original schedule, which will be paid off in 2028. As I mentioned before, a little over $32 million in the bank, and the other charts and graphs just continue to show our cash balance over the last 5 years, and just shows the decline in the state loan balance. So obviously, just one month into the new calendar year becomes more accurate as we go by, so each month. So that really kind of concludes my report for January.
Okay, any questions? Would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Hear a motion, or second?
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We'll show that passing. We have a contract in your materials for construction manager, Mr. Jerome.
Thank you. Yes, also in your board packet tonight, asking the school board permission to award the contract for construction manager as constructor with Core Construction and CGA Associates of Indianapolis, Indiana. We've been really, I'm blessed with Richard Bowman is here as a representative from Core tonight. For those not familiar with Core, included in your packet was also several pictures and examples of what Core has worked with us before in the past. They were our construction manager for EWA, Southview, Westview, the portable project at both Westview and Northview. Obviously, there's pictures of the football stadium and the track, and that's the one they're working on right now. That was the locker room, restroom facility right there on the north end of the stadium. That's what it's going to look like. It's not there yet. They're working on the foundation now. What this particular project is that we're asking the board permission for, this is for our renovation project and some of the updating we're going to do at the Muncie Fieldhouse with electrical, heating, and cooling. Yes, I did say cooling. Right now, it's never had cooling in almost 100 years. It also will require, we'll do some additional improvements outside the field house on the area surrounding it. It'll also include the underground sewer water line that goes outside the field house and across the parking lot towards the Muncie Central High School as well, and some additional renovations on the south end of the football stadium. So anyway, asking the board permission to award our contract with Core Construction as presented.
Any questions regarding the contract in your materials? Core's been a good partner to MCS for a number of years, and we appreciate your work and your partnership with us. Any questions? If not, we'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved. Do I hear a second?
Yeah.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay. Thank you. Let us know if you need anything as this thing moves along. What's the schedule for the restroom locker rooms?
The intended finish date for the locker rooms would be August 9th, 2024, later this summer. Been blessed really with a pretty good winter. I mean, we had a few days when it was cold that they obviously couldn't do underground or below ground foundation work, but right now I'd say it's on schedule. Yep, so. Yep. Richard's on site with us pretty much every day, and he's based out of the Muncie Fieldhouse. That's the best area. We didn't have to put another construction trailer in, so the Fieldhouse has a lot of rooms that we can use. So we've allowed them to take over a certain area for our construction meetings. And no, Core's been a very good partner. Richard's been a very great representative to work with. He's a Ball State graduate in the construction technology area, so we're proud to have Richard here with us too.
Thank you, Richard. That big basketball, let's go back to that for a second. So do we have composites of all those state championship teams, the photographs?
Well, we do, and if you have seen
They're in
what we've done in that East End, we took those many variety of pictures, obviously through the years, different types of quality of pictures, and we used Mullet Design here in Muncie to put it up there on these big, I guess you'd call them graphic bulkhead banners that we put them up. That way they're easier to maintain as one big like vinyl wrap that's up on the bulkhead. So that commemorates all those state championship teams in a little better fashion. Because what we were experiencing in that East End, where all the various state championship pictures were, the sun was kind of affecting certain pictures in a different way. So they were able to really rescue those pictures, and putting them up in a vinyl wrap seemed a lot better.
Okay, any additional questions? On to dialogue and recommendations. I just want to take a moment on behalf of the board, recognize the leadership team here at this table, the building principals, the faculty, staff, and everybody contributing to the educational and social world of MCS. We did, when we started this board was formed in July of 2018, and I vividly recall we had the state does a fall count and a spring count of students. And that first spring of 2019, we were down about 155 students who had departed during that 4 or 5 month period from the count in September to the count in February. And Dr. Kay came along, and her team had put together a number of different tools to try and build enrollment and keep our students in school. And I'm proud to say that our February count this year, including, I believe, mid-year graduates, was down 13 students from the fall. Always goes down a little, but we're only down 13 students. And year to year, spring of 24 to spring of 23, Muncie Community Schools is up 134 students. So that is a remarkable accomplishment, and I want to recognize everybody at this table, the leadership at our buildings, and just the faculty and staff who are working so hard to keep our students engaged. So thank you on behalf of the board. I don't have anything else further. Anybody else have anything for the good of the order? Okay. Mr. Klotz, anything from the media?
No, but I just want to make sure you take action on the awarding of the contract.
We did.
Yeah, all right. We're good.
Yeah, we did. Okay. We did, didn't we? Okay. I'm sure Richard would have. Entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
We'll stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight, and thank you all for your work.